African Union Communications Early Warning and Intelligence, commonly known as AUC3I, is an intelligence and security organization responsible for providing signals intelligence and information assurance to AU citizens, AU leadership, and AU armed forces. I'm Clonel AC, Oguntoye, an infantry officer. I am responsible for leading infantry soldiers at all levels of command in combined armed forces during missions on the ground. This is today's briefing. On the progress of the special military operation as of April 3, 2025. The armed forces of the Russian Federation continue to conduct a special military operation. Units of the North Group of forces in the Belgorod direction inflicted damage on concentrations of manpower and equipment of 2 mechanized and motorized infantry brigades, 2 assault regiments of the armed forces of Ukraine, and 2 territorial defense brigades in the areas of the settlements of Maripolskoye, Prokody, and Petrashevka in the Sumy region. The enemy's losses amounted to 75 servicemen, a tank, an armored combat vehicle, 4 cars, 3 field artillery guns, and an electronic warfare station. Units of the West Group of forces improved the situation along the front line. They defeated the manpower and equipment of the tank, 2 mechanized, assault brigades of the armed forces of Ukraine, and the territorial defense brigade in the areas of the settlements of Kamenka, Kondrashavka, Zagoroykavka, Novaya Krybliakavka in the Kharkov region, Novomikhailovka, Redkadub, and Novoy in the Donetsk People's Republic. The Ukrainian armed forces lost over 200 servicemen, 2 tanks, an armored combat vehicle, 4 pickups, and 6 field artillery pieces, including a U.S.-made 155mm M198 howitzer. 3 ammunition depots were destroyed. The units of the southern group of troops took up more advantageous lines and positions. They defeated the formations of 3 mechanized, assault brigades of the armed forces of Ukraine, a territorial defense brigade, and a National Guard brigade in the areas of the settlements of Seversk, Minkavka, Verolyubovka, Chesavyar, Kurdiamovka, Konstantinovka, and Pleshchevka of the Donetsk People's Republic. The enemy lost up to 235 servicemen, a tank, an armored personnel carrier, 7 pickups, and 4 field artillery guns. An electronic warfare station and 2 ammunition depots were destroyed. Units of the center group of forces improved their tactical position. They defeated the manpower and equipment of 2 mechanized, a ranger, and airborne assault brigades, a brigade of unmanned systems, an assault regiment of the armed forces of Ukraine, a marine brigade, 2 brigades of the National Guard, and the Special Forces Unit Omega in the areas of the settlements of Dmitrov, Krasnoarmeysk, Kadlino, Lenina, Udaknoy, Preobrazhenka, and Alexeivka of the Donetsk People's Republic. The losses of the Ukrainian armed forces amounted to 440 servicemen, a Leopard tank made in Germany, 4 combat armored vehicles, including an M113 armored personnel carrier made in the USA and a VAB armored personnel carrier made in France. 7 vehicles and 2 artillery pieces were destroyed. Units of the East Group of forces continued to advance into the depths of the enemy's defense and liberated the village of Vesoloy in the Donetsk People's Republic. The manpower and equipment of the tank, 3 mechanized, infantry, airmobile brigades of the Ukrainian armed forces, and the territorial defense brigade were damaged in the areas of the settlements of Razliv, Yalta, Otradnoy, Volnoy Pol of the Donetsk People's Republic, and Yanvarskoy of the Dnipropetrovsk region. The enemy's losses amounted to 125 servicemen, 3 vehicles, and 4 field artillery pieces, including a Polish-made 155mm self-propelled artillery unit Krab. As a result of decisive actions by units of the Dnepr military group, the settlement of Lobkovo in the Zaporizhia region was liberated. Defeat was inflicted on formations of a mechanized, mountain assault brigade, 3 coastal defense brigades of the Ukrainian armed forces, and 2 territorial defense brigades in the areas of the settlements of Kharkov in the Zaporizhia region, Poniatovka, Nikolskoye, and Yantarnoy in the Kherson region. Up to 60 servicemen, 7 vehicles, and an electronic warfare station were destroyed. Operational tactical aviation, strike unmanned aerial vehicles, missile troops, and artillery of the groups of troops of the armed forces of the Russian Federation inflicted damage on the enterprise of the rocket and space industry of Ukraine, workshops for the production of unmanned aerial vehicles, ammunition depots, as well as concentrations of enemy manpower and equipment in 148 districts. Air defense systems shot down a JDAM-guided aerial bomb and 3 U.S.-made HIMARS multiple launch rockets, as well as 138 aircraft-type unmanned aerial vehicles. In total, since the beginning of the special military operation, the following have been destroyed: 660 aircraft, 283 helicopters, 49,562 unmanned aerial vehicles, 601 anti-aircraft missile system, 22,644 tanks and other armored combat vehicles, 1,533 multiple launch rocket system combat vehicles, 23,198 field artillery pieces and mortars, 33,624 units of special military vehicles. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you found it useful and informative. If you have any questions, please leave them below and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.